I want to share this story because I think it's when social media can be at its best. And I also want to acknowledge that Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, is a little more connected than your average Joe. But I do think it's an incredible story. Scott Adams has been doing the best he can to extend his life, has been trying to stay with us a little bit longer. He's fighting cancer, metastasized prostate cancer. This is something that many men have to deal with in their life. Two men in my family have recently gone through chemotherapy. One of them is currently going through chemotherapy. It's an issue that hits a lot of young people, and particularly young men, because they look at their fathers who have to go through this. Scott Adams put out a tweet saying, "On Monday, I will ask President Trump via X to save my life. He has offered to help me if I needed it. I need it. As many of you know, I have metastasized prostate cancer. My healthcare provider, Kaiser of Northern California, has approved my application to receive a newly FDA-approved drug called Pluvicto, but they have dropped the ball in scheduling the brief IV to administer it, and I cannot seem to fix that." Now, look, I think Trump has talked about this. I think if you have a terminal medical diagnosis, you should be able to try whatever you want. Literally. Like, you should be able to pay whatever you want. Or try whatever you want. Sure, you could sign off and say, hey, I'm not going to hold the people culpable. I'm not going to hold the insurance company. I'm not going to, but you should be able to do whatever you want. What if you have no option but to just die? You should be able to try whatever you want. I feel like left, right, center, everybody agrees with that. I'm declining fast. I will ask President Trump if he can get Kaiser of Northern California to respond and schedule it for Monday. That will give me a fighting chance to stick around on this planet just a little bit longer. It's not a cure, but it does give good results to many people. You see, the story immediately goes crazy as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. responds, "Scott, how do I reach you? The president wants to help." No need to wait till Monday. Donald Trump, taking him in now. Get on all this other stuff. Praying for you, Scott. Praying for you. He will get it done for you. And again, you see Elon Musk saying, if you want to reach the most influential people of the world, then X as a platform is by far the best. You see Robert F. Kennedy and Chamath Palihapitiya, I don't know, from the All In podcast, just connected you guys via text. This is actually crazy. I do wish, I'm remiss from saying, hey, I would hope that we get policies in place, or, RFK Jr. gets stuff in place that lets people do this. Many people don't get to take advantage of experimental treatments because they're too expensive or because they can't literally tweet at the president. I get that, but hopefully this kind of opens more people up to that as an option. No coffee with Scott Adams today, heading to the ER. That was yesterday. Well, I have some good news I want to share with you, at least as of, a few minutes ago. This is what Scott Adams had to say.
I sort of reached the end of one rope, which was I wasn't sure I was getting any health care at all. I might have been. I still don't know. But what I don't know is if they'd even started the process to get me that potentially life-saving drug that I've been trying to get. And so I wrote a message saying that on Sunday, I wrote that I would be asking the president on Monday. Now that would be today. Mm-hmm. But as you know, President Trump likes to do things ahead of schedule and better than you expected and ahead of schedule. What is it? Below budget, ahead of schedule. And I don't know who he talked to first, but I feel like a lot of things went in motion at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was contacted by Don Jr., who was literally in Africa. He's in Africa.
I mean, this story is just incredible. Now, I don't know anything about this drug, if it's going to help him, hurt him. I don't know. But what I do know is that cancer sucks. It doesn't care how you voted. It doesn't care who you are, what you've done in the past. It doesn't care how much money you have. It doesn't care what skin color you are. It doesn't care where you live. It will come for anybody. It doesn't care how old you are. It will come for kids.
Africa on a Sunday.
And so I think people who have it should be able to try whatever the heck they want. So I'd sign it, right? If I'm late stage, I'll say, fine, let me try it. Let me go out fighting, right? Let me go out fighting it. If it kills me, it kills me, but let me die on my feet. Let me try.
And Don Jr. is calling me and saying, Leah, I'm on this. My father wants me to, get this done. Then Bobby Kennedy calls me. Like, what can I do? What's the situation? Dr. Oz calls me. Dr. Oz, what's the situation? How can I help? Oh my God. And then you may have seen that President Trump, best president ever, he posted my message to him that was on X yesterday. It was a public message. And he just said, on it, on it. He was so on it.
I mean, could you even imagine, like, I know Scott Adams is a celebrity. I know that. But this is, I don't even know what time, this is. But like Trump coming to his aid, Don Jr., RFK Jr., Dr. Oz, like it's an incredible story of humanity.
Oh my God, was he on it? Anyway, it turns out that It turns out that nobody in senior management at Kaiser, my healthcare company, had a good weekend. They probably thought, oh, it's nice to have a Sunday off for a change. They probably work pretty hard. I imagine they work pretty hard. And suddenly the entire Sunday is absorbed by this. Oh, I feel bad about it, but good about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will never...
Because it might have saved my life.
I will never, get down on somebody for being their own advocate at any cost. I'm going through stuff with my wife where I have the money, we have the time, and I can't get any of these doctors to take care of her. Insurance says we won't pay for it. I said, fine, I'll pay for it. I paid cash for a shot that cost me thousands of dollars. I said, I don't care. Just, my wife needs help. That's what I'm going through right now. So I understand how this works. I said, I'll pay cash. Well, I don't know if you can pay. I'll pay cash. The doctor prescribed it. Let me pay cash. So I drove an hour to a pharmacy that had it and I paid cash. Not everyone can do that. It's a blessing. It's because I have the viewers that I have. But I see how this healthcare system, quote unquote, actually works or, well, doesn't work. Here I am, Scott is somebody with means, money, connections, and we can't get help. I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who doesn't have access to those things. Now, here's the thing. You see this William, now of course people get mad at him. Here's this William Marcus guy from McGill Medicine saying, I tried to help Scott Adams in his stage 4 prostate cancer. He quit after a month and then attacked me and went out of his way to hurt my family as much as he possibly could. He also tried to hurt thousands of other cancer patients. Getting very mad. I pioneered Pluvicto cancer technology 10 years ago. That is being offered him today by Kaiser Northern California. They're saying, these people are coming out and making it about them. Now they said his immune cells are already damaged by the jab. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I do know that Scott Adams lost everything for speaking out about a culture problem that many people were afraid to talk about. He's saying his protocol has helped so many other people, including my dad, who was diagnosed with prostate cancer last summer. which spread to his lymph nodes, abdomen, and lungs. His PSA peaked at 95, but has come down to 0.2, which is phenomenal. Hey, I hope that this is true. You know, I hope that, you know, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I think that the guy should be able to try whatever he wants to try. Trump responds after Dilbert creator makes last-ditch plea to save his life as he's declining rapidly from cancer. Now, I think if you're stage 4, you're probably not in the can I beat this stage of cancer. You're not in this can I survive this. You're in the, you know, can I get some quality of life for a couple extra months or a couple extra years? And I think that's all Scott's probably trying to do. I haven't talked to him. I don't know him personally, but I do have family members that have gone through this, and I'm pretty sure, like, you know, that's how everyone probably reacts. Adams has kept his cancer battle quiet, and although he did not say when he was diagnosed with the disease, he said he's had it longer than Biden has had it. All Trump said was on it, like incredible. RFK, everybody coming to the aid of this man. Now, Scott Adams is believed to be worth nearly $70 million. A fortune amassed thanks to his popularity of his characters. Doesn't matter. This is a guy that they tried to ruin his life. Who knows if there were political reasons why he wasn't getting his treatment? I don't know. Certainly political people chimed in from both sides and had a lot to say about it. So, you know, hopefully, I hope that Scott gets this treatment, and I hope that it works for him. And I hope that he becomes a case study for other people getting this treatment, and it works for them too. But shout out to Trump, RFK, you know, Don Jr., and everybody out there for mobilizing for a friend. Because even though these people hold these kind of big positions of power, at the end of the day, that's kind of just what this was. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.